In this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how I set up Facebook ads for tradies. So what we want to do first is go to Meta Ads and then tap on Create. And the type of campaign that we want is a leads campaign because we want people to either fill out our form on our website or fill out one of our instant forms. So tap on Leads and then tap on Continue. Now, once we've hit the campaign level, let's just break this down really quick for you. You have the campaign level where you set in the budget. You have the ad set level where you do the conversion location and the actual targeting for the ad as well. And then you have the ad level where you actually create the ad, the thing that people see and click on to get a quote from you. So let's start off in the campaign level and we're going to put in our budget. Now, I personally recommend anywhere from $50 to $100 per day if you're in Australia. If you're from the United States, it's around $35 to $70, and if you're from the UK, it's about $25 to $50. So let's just chuck this on $50 right now, and that's all we have to do on the campaign level, so let's tap on Next. So the very first thing we do here is we actually change the conversion location. If you have a really great website that you've spent thousands of dollars on and it's super conversion focused, use your website, but I personally recommend for anyone that doesn't have a great website is to just use instant forms. So what you do is you tap on this, go down a single, and then click on instant forms. Now just make sure to select your correct page. I've just selected my Daniel Dimsey page. It's just my demonstration page for this ad. And we want to go down here to performance goal. And in my opinion, I leave this on maximize number of leads rather than maximize number of conversion leads. Because if you have a form set up with multiple qualifying questions that people have to go through before they can actually get a quote from your business, then you're only going to get conversion focused leads anyway without paying that premium price for the audience. So if your website form already has qualifying questions, I just recommend putting this on maximize number of leads. And if you don't know how to do it and you're going to be using instant forms, I will be teaching you in this video exactly how to set up the instant forms the correct way to have those qualifying questions. But now that we've done that, we want to scroll down. We don't want to bother with dynamic creative. We don't want to bother about the budget or schedule. We want to go straight to the actual audience. So tap on the location area and tap on this little arrow here. And now obviously we don't want to target all of Australia. We want to target our service area. So just say we service Melbourne. So we're going to go through here and go Melbourne, Victoria, and it's going to take us directly to Melbourne. So this is just to drag us directly to our service area. Now, if we want to actually target a different area, we can just drop a pin like that and it'll get rid of the initial one. This is only because there was only one in the area, but you can have in multiple different targeting areas if you want. But for this example, let's just say that I mainly target the eastern suburbs over here. So let's just increase our radius. And this is where we service. So targeting is super easy when it comes to Facebook ads, but there's a thing that you cannot miss, and it's doing in exclusion zones to exclude Facebook from sending ad spend out to areas that you don't actually target. Because sometimes Facebook trickles your ad spend into areas around your targeting zone, and then you just end up getting leads that you can't actually service. So you just end up wasting money. So here's exactly how to fix that. Real quick guys, I hope you're enjoying the value that I'm giving you in this video. But look, if you can't be bothered learning how to set up ads and create ads for your business and you prefer someone like me to just run them for you, there's a link in the description to my marketing agency. You can book in a call there and I can help you out. But now let's just jump straight back into the video. So what you want to do is drop more pins around your targeting location and then just actually tapping on it again and then tapping on exclude. Now, how I like to set these up is I like to make these big and I want to make them all around my actual targeting circle. So I'm not going to waste any of your time of me actually building out all the exclusion zones, but I've shown you how to actually put the exclusion zone in. It'd basically just be this all the way around the actual blue circle. This way, none of your ads end up trickling out of the targeting zone. So make sure to do this because it will save you thousands of dollars. Now, what we want to do now is we don't want to bother about suggesting an audience or anything like that. The strategy that works right now best is completely broad targeting, besides having those exclusion zones. I wouldn't even worry about putting in age ranges. Facebook knows that an 18-year-old isn't going to convert on one of your ads. And when you cap it by age limits, you end up putting on a limitation on the actual targeting, which usually just bumps up the price of the ads. So I recommend not putting in age ranges. Now, what we want to do in the ad area, the actual area that creates the ad, the thing that they see and the form that they click on to fill out to get a quote from your business, is we want to go in here and actually just go to single image or video ad. I prefer these. They always seem to do better than carousel ads, and they're just unbelievably easy to test if you do images, because you can just load in 20 of these things within the same day, and you don't have to worry about editing a video, recording it, adding subtitles, and making it entertaining. You can just bulk upload multiple images and test what works for your business and find a winner unbelievably quick. So we want to scroll down to the ad creative. So go to here where it says add creative and tap on image ad. So the ad that I've created is this one here. It's a plumbing ad. So all the people watching right now, you're lucky if you're a plumber because this tradie ad is going to be based around a plumbing ad. But the exact same strategies, setup and everything all work the exact same for all the other trades out there. Like if this was for an electrician or a carpenter or anything like that, I would just have very similar images and setups to this. With Facebook ads for tradies, it's pretty simple. All these types of ads usually work the same, which is just those personal style ads because these are what work best for service-based businesses. Now, for the primary text and everything here, I'm not going to touch this right here. We're going to actually touch this after I do all the image generation and enhancements, just because you can't really see the ad that well in here. So I don't want to put in all the ad copy right there. So tap on next. As you can see, it's giving me a bunch of different image generations that I can pick. I personally don't find any of these good, so I'm just not going to click on any of them. But if you do find some that look really good, I recommend just adding them. But for me, there's nothing here, so I'm just going to tap on skip and continue. Now, what I like to have for enhancements is I like overlays, I like visual touch-ups, I like music. I hate text improvements and everything else here because they just make it absolutely horrible. I like to have control over what's on the ad. I don't like to give that to Facebook because I want to actually know what's working for the businesses I run ads for. And you can't get that knowledge unless you're actually taking control. So the best way to do it is to not use a lot of those AI enhancements or anything like that, where it changes your primary text headline or anything here. So let's put in my primary text now. Now here's the type of ad copy that I like. So I like to have in the primary text very genuine, personal ad copy. Because even if you do run a big franchise or a massive plumbing company or any other trade company, you still want to have ads that look very personal because these are the ones that are working best right now. Because at the end of the day, people want to hire people. That's exactly why I have, the person in the actual ad, because it makes it so much more trustworthy when the client actually sees one of the workers on the ad. There's no other way to build that instant trust. So what I'm telling you is keep the images very personal, have images of you and your work crew, and then have ad copy that relates to that, pushing that same genuine personal edge like this is here. Now you can copy and paste this, plug it into your business. I don't care. This is just a demonstration ad. This isn't one that I'm running right now, but I would definitely test it if I was. Now we're on to the headline. We just want to keep this simple. All you want to do is tell them what you want them to do, which is get your free quote, get your plumbing issues fixed, just anything like that. So right here, I've just put in, get your plumbing quote, because that's exactly what it is. They're just looking at the ad and you want them to go and get a quote from you. So just tell them what you want them to do. Now we want to add a little bit of social proof or anything like that in the description. So right here, this appears under the headline. So I would typically lead with Google reviews, but obviously you can see I already have the Google reviews in the image. So I have the social proof there. So I'm just going to double up with some extra social proof, like over 500 plus happy clients. This just adds in extra social proof. There's no real point reiterating the actual reviews because they're already on the page. But the call to action button, we want this to be get quote because we want them to get a quote. As you can see, this is what our ad is looking like. Now just ignore the fact that it's from the page Daniel Dimsey. Obviously it would be from a plumbing page, but it looks incredible, right? We have the image that instantly stops the scroll. They can see it's about plumbing and they can see everything about the plumbing service. So same day plumbing, $0 call out fee, and then different services they typically do most of the time. And then we have up here the ad copy that's just super genuine. It's pointing out the fact that they're local and they actually give a shit about your job. And then you have the call to action, which just tells them exactly what you want them to do, which is get your plumbing quote. Now that's the ad part done, but we're not fully done just yet. We still need to actually create the instant form. So I'm going to teach you exactly the best way to set up your instant forms. So we want to go all the way over to destination and tap on create form. So what I recommend here is I usually set these up as more volume and I keep the sharing settings as open. Now, if you have had previous problems with leads where they don't answer the phone, you can actually flip this onto higher intent and require leads to verify their phone number. Now this will increase your cost per lead by quite a lot, but it will obviously have ridiculously qualified leads because they have verified their phone number. But I personally never really get that much of a problem with it. So we're just going to tap on next. I skip the intro. I don't like this. It's just a waste of time. And then I go over to questions. Now, since this is a video for tradies, I can't exactly just give you all the questions that'll work for your business because obviously this video is very broad and it goes to all the tradies out there. But I'll tell you what usually works best for all businesses. So I usually have around 3 to 4 questions. This is the golden area that kicks out all of the tire kickers because nobody's going to put in that effort to go through 3 to 4 different questions to get a quote from you, right? If they don't care that much about the quote, they're just going to bump off after the first question. But the questions that I typically ask is what service that they're interested in, when do they need it done, and what's the best form of contact, email, SMS, or phone. There's 3 questions for you that I know work, but I'll show you how to actually put them in to the actual instant form. So you just tap on add question. For all those questions that I just gave you, they'd typically be multiple choice questions. So you'd ask your question up here and then you'd give the answers down here that they can select. So remember, like I said, 3 to 4 is around the golden area. So what we want to do now is we just want to make sure that we're getting the correct information. So you want to grab their full name, phone number, email address, and then I like to also grab their street address. Obviously, it depends on what trade you are. You just grab it like that, then tap on next. You want to make sure you have a privacy policy. If you don't, just quickly build one in Google Docs or anything like that, or you can just plug in your website right here, and hopefully your website has a privacy policy. Or honestly, it just takes any old link. You could plug in a link to KFC and it would take it. Look, that's not advice. Don't do that. That's dodgy, but I'm just saying it so you know. What we want to do now is just tap on next. And then at the ending, you can have in the headline, thanks, you're all set. For the description, I like to just use how long it'll be for them to receive their quote. So if I do manual quotes, I'll say within the next 24 to 48 hours, you can expect your quote, something like that. And then if it's instant quotes, I'll say something like, you'll receive your quote within the next 5 minutes. But now for the additional action, we want to put this on call business and then just put in our phone number here. And then they'll have this little button that says call now. And if you want to connect with leads in Messenger, you can just tap this button as well, just to make sure you get a little bit of access to them. And then you tap on create form. And then all you have to do is just tap on publish. And that's it, guys. That's the full video for you, exactly how to set up Facebook ads for your trade business. Look, if you do want that unfair advantage and you want to know everything that I know about running Facebook ads, Google ads, and automating trade businesses like yours, there's a link in the description to my home service marketing course. I'll teach you everything I know, all the secrets that I can't share for free on YouTube. So if you're interested, go get it. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you next time.